One of my favorite things about being a Coloradan is we definitely have a sense of pride and have a sense of community here together. We need to have everyone in this state counted so that we can make sure that we get the maximum amount of funding from the federal government.
Nothing could be more important or powerful than how many members of Congress your state has. And Colorado is actually ripe to get another congressional seat if enough people are counted in this census. So really important to get out there and make sure you're counted. It would be great to have another member of Congress representing us in Washington, D.C.
What I think happens if people don't fill out the census is that we don't get the funding that we need to actually help schools and police and firefighters, the fire department, roads, and all the things that we need that actually help our lives run smoother.
I think there's this concept that people have that they like complain about things, but then their actions perpetuate what they're complaining about. And I think what I hear from a lot of people is that nothing changes. You know, one person out of millions doesn't make any kind of change. But I don't think that's true.
The reality is that if things end up going sideways and you don't like it, in this case where maybe we don't get enough funding, if you didn't actually participate in the census, then you can't complain about it.
I mean, the census, it's really important that we participate because it's connected to so many things that we experience in our everyday lives, right? Education, roads, all of these things, the financial implications of participating affect us every single day. So if we participate in those things, we will be able to ensure that those services and that funding is trickled down into our communities.
You know, we have so many just incredible, fantastic resources here in our state, whether it's, our outdoor stuff that we have these phenomenal, state parks and just beautiful outdoor land, to some of the really incredible nonprofits that have been around Denver for, 30, 40, maybe even 50 years. And all that is, critical to making our state run and, making our state be the best place that it can be for everybody to thrive.
I think it's important to have an honest conversation that there's some out there, particularly this year, that are afraid to fill out the census. They're afraid when people knock on their doors or call their, home lines to ask questions about them. And what's really important to know is that the United States Census is actually for your benefit. It's not going to collect data or information that's going to be used against you. It's just the opposite. It's going to be used for you.
I would make sure to tell them, anybody who would be afraid of, taking the census, that it might be too intrusive, I would let them know that the information is secure and that it wouldn't be released for another 72 years.
It's really important that you move past those fears and engage, because if you're not counted and you don't fill out the census, then that money that could have gone to your community actually will go away and go to someone else.
I think it's really important, especially for immigrants and people of Asian demographic, to stand up and be counted. I think everybody is really big on, people of color having a voice or being significant, and this is our chance.
Es importante ser contado porque nuestras voces merecen ser escuchadas. There's really no reason not to participate. I think that we talked about, sometimes folks are afraid to engage in these ways, but this year it's easier than ever to participate, so you can do that online, you can do that by phone, and we can ensure that underrepresented communities obtain services by participating in the census, because if they know we're there, more funds will be funneled into those places to ensure that we are receiving an equitable amount of those resources.
There's around $13 billion a year of funding that goes to Colorado every year, depending on the census. So if you want a piece of that pie for your community, you gotta speak out.
And I would say one of the coolest things about the census is that although everybody can't vote, whether you're an undocumented citizen or you're too young or you're a felon, with the census, everybody can be a part. And that is awesome.
And it is important that everyone in your family is counted, whether they're documented, undocumented, everyone from abuelo to the baby that was born in March, everyone in your family should be accounted for.
Just thinking about the future really excites me. The fact that in 72 years, my great-great-grandchildren would know that I was here and they would know certain facts about me. I know that it can be really difficult to trace, your origins through slavery, but here is a chance for me to actually show up in history. This is a way for all people to be counted, Black, brown, no matter what your race is, and it's a good thing to do. So do it.